God forbid that you should ever smell such a thing. Ever. That I wouldn't be able to go on living without getting my revenge against that animal.
First thing I'm going to do is shoot him in that nipple.
Lordy.
Let's begin! Guns and Stories Bulletproof is a Wild West wave shooter. Most of the time, you do dual wield, so 2 move controllers are required to play. You don't need to reload, as the game does it for you, and you do have unlimited ammo for all of the weapons. It really is about as simple as it gets. It's all about pointing and shooting without the need of worrying about gun management. Some enemies do appear quite far away, so the game demands quite precise aiming, and does so quite early on. It also rewards it though, as headshots do extra damage. If you was close to achieving a headshot, but didn't quite land it, hats will fly off of the enemies' heads. This is quite an active game, as you are able to physically dodge bullets. You are able to deflect bullets that are coming towards you by hitting them with the side of your gun or by actually shooting them as well. But a lot of the time, you won't have time to do so, due to the sheer amount of bullets coming your way from different angles, so physically moving out of the way is a must. The depth on the bullets coming towards you is amazing, and I did flinch quite a few times. Enemies come in a few forms. Some have armour on that you must chip away at first before you can do any real damage. Some throw dynamite at you, which you can either shoot whilst it's in the air, or if you're quick enough, whilst they're still holding it. Some enemies have machine guns. These guys you will want to start to deal with as quickly as possible, as the amount of bullets coming towards you from them can be quite overwhelming. Luckily, when you are close to death, your chances of survival are given a boost, as slow motion kicks in. It does look great, and I believe your shots do become a bit more precise. I was certainly able to pull off more headshots in these moments. If you do die, you will have to start the stage from the beginning again. You always know just how far you are through a stage, thanks to a sign that displays the level's completion %. Drones also make an appearance. You usually hear them before seeing them, so you can be a little prepared and keep an eye out for them in the sky. Shooting these will make them explode, and the explosions do look very nice. The same can't really be said about some of the textures that are on objects that are quite close to your position. They are a bit low quality, but most of the time you will be looking out into the distance, so they don't matter that much. Overall, it's not the best looking game ever, but as it is very action packed, you are kept busy and slightly forget about the graphics. The gun models are very good though, and have very unique designs, and the guns are actually the reason that the game never gets too repetitive. There are 9 main story stages in total, and in 8 of them you are given a new gun to shoot, so you're always having something new to learn, especially as some come attached with an alternate firing mode. Some of the guns you will get to play with are 2 Tommy guns, a shotgun and a dynamite crossbow, and a Tesla gun that shocks enemies that are close together, which can then be taken out with the other firing mode. The variety in the weapons is amazing, but unfortunately, some of the larger guns require to be aimed with both the move controllers. When doing this, your moves can overlap each other, which makes the PlayStation camera get confused, resulting in the gun wobbling around on screen. You do eventually find a good position for both your arms to make the aiming more fluid, but sadly, I never found it to be 100% perfect. Boss battles are also here. There is 3 in total, and they do play out quite differently from each other. I won't delve too deeply into them as there are only 3, but each one is quite fun to beat. Now there is a star rating system for each stage, but each one of the game's difficulties doesn't have a new set of stars attached, which is a real shame, as it hurts replayability a lot, especially as there is quite a few difficulties to play on. The game is playable from a seated position, but if you do sit down, you will have to still physically dodge around quite a bit. I'd recommend playing on easy if you are sitting down. The game really is at its best when you're standing, especially as some enemies run up to you and hit you, and their positions are very close to being behind you. Each of the story stages also has an extra action mode attached. Each of these stages comes with their own star rating system, and you are able to use any weapon that you have already played with in the main missions. so there is some experimentation to be had here, and it gives an extra reason to play for it again. There are also 6 bonus missions, which are absolutely worth doing, as some come with different challenges not found in the main game, and they are set in different locations. You may have to stop people from entering a bar, or simply survive whilst people charge at you with the intention of hitting you with a gravestone. They are all fun additions, and really come across as proper extra stages. You actually play as a granddad in his younger years, and there is quite a lot of voiceovers. The granddad is telling his grandson about his past adventures. Both voice actors are very good, and there is some funny dialogue here. I didn't think it was laugh out loud funny, but a couple of times did make me smile.
Man, I made you a star.
Sometimes the action stops whilst the two are talking. I didn't mind being taken out of the action too much, as I was enjoying the script, but when they talk whilst the action is still going, the music and sound effects volume decreases a lot. It makes the shooting less intense, and dampens the mood slightly.
They built nests right up in the trees. I'll show you who's who now.
The majority of the story is told through voiceovers, but this is more banter than anything else. The main plot points are told through mini cartoons that play at the beginning of each stage. You can skip these if you really want to, or you can sit back and relax with some virtual popcorn. I did think the popcorn was a nice little addition, especially as the cartoons are displayed on a cinema screen just in front of you. It took me just over 2 hours to beat the main stages, but I did die a few times, and if you're going to play the action mode, you can at least double that, and then you have the 6 bonus missions to beat. Unfortunately, I can't show the trophies, as they haven't appeared on websites just yet. They are in the game though, so I'll just voice my thoughts on them. There are 51 trophies to get, and there is a lot of variety here. The most notable ones is that you will need to complete every stage in the game, kill a certain amount of enemies with the different guns, shoot different things at certain moments in the story stages, and of course, there is some related to the star scoring system. It's an excellent trophy list, especially as there is a platinum included. This game is just pure and simple fun, and it is actually packed with content for a wave shooter, maybe not so much in length, but certainly in modes and different locations. In the main hub menu, there is even a couple of books that you can read. One has descriptions for the types of enemies in the game, and the other has information on the weapons. Many may not even touch these, but it's a nice bit of bonus-like content that shows that the developers care about what they have created. They really did get a lot of things right with this wave shooter. You can even turn off damage number amounts that fly off of the enemies when they get hit. They didn't get in the way of my enjoyment, but I know some gamers do prefer the less arcade-like visuals. One of the main things I do think this game did get wrong though was the star system that doesn't have a different score saved for playing on different difficulties. It could have really boosted the game's length and encouraged even more scores to be set, but the game is packed with content, so it's not a massive issue. Overall, I really did have a blast with this one from start to finish. The action is hectic and the ragdoll physics are funny to watch. They're not quite going for realism here, which does make some of the deaths very comical. It really is a brilliant western wave shooter.
Lordy.
You can probably tell by the footage alone that this is a very fun wave shooter, but is it going to be one that you're going to be checking out, or skip because you already have a lot of similar games? Let me know in the comments below. As always, please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe for more PlayStation VR content.